In today's video, I want to talk about why I think it is better to be feared than to be loved. And this video is mainly or is taken out from a quote from a book named The Prince, and the author name is Machiavelli. I listen to a lot of his podcasts, and I believe he's a man with a lot of wisdom. Even though he has written this book, The Prince, for many years ago, decades ago, I still find it really profound in this modern day society. And with one thing I've actually see that I've observed myself, I've observed that many people really respect the person that they fear than the person that they love. So which brings me to today's topic. It's better to be feared than to be loved. And I know it's gonna it sound a little bit crazy because me as a person, as an individual, I've always seen that love is the greatest thing that could ever happen to any human on this planet. And the Bible made me realize God is love, and whenever you lead with love, you're gonna go greater places. You're gonna, be at peace with yourself. So I've always believed love is the only way we could conquer this world. But at the same time, being alone, being able to observe people for who they are, I realize many people really do respect who they fear. And oftentimes the people who show love, who show kindness, oftentimes get disrespected by. And, Machiavelli in his word, he says, it's better to be feared than to be loved. If you can't get both, if you wanted to actually pick one, pick the whole idea of being feared than to be loved. Because once you've been feared as a man, definitely, people will respect you. And it sounded a little bit crazy, but it is what it is. This is the world that we live in. Whereby, love that is supposed to be the greatest of everything. Now, oftentimes people, I'm just going to take an example. You have your brothers, your sister, your family, your close relative. Have you ever, kind of done something wrong and you be like, oh, that's my brother, that's my sister. We're going to talk it out. He's going to forgive me. There's nothing he or she can do without me anyways. We oftentimes take this love for granted. We take this kindness for granted oftentimes. But you see the people who fear, take it for example, your boss at work or your superior in whatever enterprise you're working at. Oftentimes I see many people obey. And I'm going to actually derive by saying, even though with married couples, you often see women respecting their boss. Their boss call them at 2 a.m. in the morning, 5 a.m. early in the morning. They are ready to actually answer the phone or do whatever task it is. But you see their husband at home, they really do not even care, and it is really crazy. But this is the world we live in, whereby things are just upside down. As I get older, YouTube, I realize this world is really not balanced. It's just upside down. So many lies, many people have been led astray. And this is just going to bring to my audience more awareness. And what I mean by feared, I'm not talking about being an arrogant person or being abusive to your relationship or putting hands on anyone. That is far from being what I'm saying. And I'm going to put on the board what I mean by being feared. How I think you can practice this for yourself. And at the same time, people are going to actually fear you without them even knowing, but I'm just going to go right into it. And I'm going to say, so how can we be feared as human? How to be feared? I'm going to put number one. The number one thing I see many people actually suffered with, even I myself in the past, is the power or the answer, or if the way of actually saying no. The power of saying no. It's okay to say no. I'm going to say it's okay. It's okay to say no. I'm going to actually put that as the key word. It's okay to say no. No is the key word right here. We oftentimes people, there are one thing I've actually realized, there are too many people, different people in this universe. The people who are here to drain your energy, the people who are here to actually, you know, uh, drive, take you away from, your main purpose. And there are some people, they are actually just watching you, maybe to actually mock you, to laugh at you. There are too many different kind of people in this world. But one thing I know is oftentimes when you have a good heart, people actually see it and they take it for granted. So it's okay to say no. It's okay to say, you know what, I'm not interested in going out tonight. I have other plans for me. I got to go to the gym. I got to wake up very early in the morning. I can make it over there to that meeting, because, I just don't want to do it. And sometimes, and I feel like, before you want to actually saying yes to everything, you're saying yes to that person, and deep down in your soul, you're saying no to yourself just because you want to actually satisfy that other person. You think you're actually doing this person a favor, they're going to like you more by saying yes to their everything that they say. But oftentimes, you're only just going to be disrespected. No one is going to actually fear you. But the day you start saying no, and I actually say the day you start saying no, that's when things start changing for you. That's when people start saying, you know what, I don't know if he's going to say yes, if he's going to say no. Like, you are going to be unpredictable. Unlike, I'm just going to give an example. Let's say, people want to go out and they'll say, you know what, that dude right here, he's always going to say yes. Don't worry about him. He's always going to say yes. But you always want to say no. At least when you want to say yes, let it be from your willing heart, not because, you want to satisfy that person. It's okay to say no. Number 2, I'll say respect as well. A person who do not respect himself definitely will never be feared. Once you respect yourself, and respect actually goes a long way. You respect yourself by, you putting on nice clothes. You want to look good for yourself. You want to actually stand out, maybe a haircut. You actually shave your hair. You get a nice haircut. You put on good, clean shirt. You actually dress properly. I think there's a saying, first impression actually matters. And I believe in this statement. Your first impression matters to people. You want to actually carry yourself, even though you're not up to that standard yet, you want to actually carry yourself up to that standard because that is where you want to be. So you want to actually respect yourself. And that is how you can actually, people can actually fear you, So you're respecting yourself because everything begins with you. And number 3, again, I'll say get comfortable with being on comfort in a comfortable zone. It's a crazy world right now whereby, many people are addicted to phone scrolling. Many people use the TV. We got Netflix, we got Hulu, we got so many channels that you can actually sit down and just watch movies all day or be on your phone, endless scrolling, TikTok, just keep scrolling. There are so many things that keep us in the modern world just comfortable. And one thing I will tell you, for you to be fair, you have to discomfort the comfortable. You have to be okay in being uncomfortable with something. And once you're being okay with being uncomfortable in this modern day world is really rare. People are going to fear you once you start being uncomfortable, once you start doing things that, that person wouldn't do, but you say, you know what, I'm going to do it. I will be concluding my video today with number 4 right here. I had it on as silence and walking away. The power of walking away, you just don't know how much it is. I know sometimes your ego might want to actually get in the way that, oh, you can fight back, you can do this back, you can do that back. But trust me, you actually putting your energy into, over explaining yourself, wanting to prove a point to the other person, you're only just giving them your power. Silence. I believe there's a verse in the Bible where the Bible reference in our own weakness, as human, in our own weakness, God's strength is made powerful. So when you are weak, his own strength is powerful. We speak for you. And this is something that I've actually experienced myself. When I was weak, I went on silent mode, and for some reason, I became more of observer. People who are silent become more of observing. And once you are silent, you become more of observant. You are going to learn a lot from being silent. You're going to learn a lot from your opponent, learn a lot from society as well once you go on silent mode. And oftentimes, you might think it is weakness for you going silent, but trust me, it is one of the most powerful things you can actually do for yourself. Because I know some brothers in jail right now, they end up in jail not because, they are perfect, or not because I am perfect than them, or because, I'm superior than them. It's all because they couldn't control, or they couldn't practice silence. This person say, that person say, all of a sudden their emotion get in the way, fight or call, and they end up in jail. So the power of silence and walking away is actually one of the things that you could practice as a man or as a human in general for you to be feared.